Five-time WCW champion. Now,
and don't sneeze on Stevie Ray.
Two-time Hall of Famer. And let's not forget, of course, the big brother, Stevie Ray.
Big Stevie Ray.
And Our Lady Sherry and Colonel Robert Parker and everybody else that helped them along the way to being one of the greatest tag teams of all time.
I will say the Colonel had more influence than Sherry did. Sherry was very short-lived, and it was towards the end of the Heat before Stevie Ray backed out because of injury. But what a great tag team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you go back, the young kids who are watching now that don't know about Harlem Heat, again, beauty of the network, go watch some WCW. Early stuff, like 90s, and check out the Harlem Heat. They were great on the mic. Their outfits were great. The music, as you can hear, was great. Everything worked. And
the music was so good.
So good.
Booker T used that music everywhere he went. WCW, WWE, TNA remade it and just basically remade the same song.
So did WWE. They just tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah. And it's an
nothing was better than WCW because that's when at the beginning you got the ice cold. They took that out when he got to WWE anyway.
And it's great music. It got people hyped like they did. If you've never seen him, Booker did like this big missile drop kick off the top. He did a lot when he was younger. He did a lot of stuff that you didn't see as his career progressed, and he kind of put on more muscle and became a bigger guy. And Stevie Ray, people talk about Stevie Ray like he stunk, and maybe he wasn't, fucking Ric Flair, but
he didn't have to be.
He didn't. That was, his role was kind of a big enforcer kind of guy, and he was there for the power moves and all that.
Protect the family and.
Absolutely, man. It was a good gimmick because they are real brothers. They had good chemistry. They weren't from Harlem. Spoiler alert. They were from Houston, Texas. But, we'll let that one slide.
It's all right, though. It's wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. It's wrestling. We know.
We've forgiven people being brothers before, not being brothers.
Yeah, we've had fake brothers. We've had fake Russians.
Kofi was Jamaican at one point. Let's not forget about that.
Oh, how could you forget about that, man? It's but yeah, it's wrestling. They
Santino Marella, come on,
yeah.
But I'm happy. That's a good announcement. That's a deserving one.
They are deserving. It's very cool to see them going. This is turning into be a hell of a class.
Oh my god!
Minus Tori Wilson, I still don't really get it. But listen. It is what it is. It's just my opinion, but overall, I think it's a great class, and we're not done. We still got more coming.
Yeah, man.
So,
we're like what? We're less than a month away now. I'm excited.
Wasn't it 27 days from last night?
Yes.
Not that Ryan's paying attention,
right? Not that we're counting or anything. Now, of course, we would be remiss if we didn't bring up Booker T's greatest moment in WCW.
Oh, I already know what you're gonna.
Expect the same thing is going to happen in this four-quarter match.
Let me tell you something, Chino. You out here talking about a clique. The only clique you need to know about is the Harlem Heat and Sister Sherry. See, because what you dealing with here is the brotherhood. It's non-stop from this point on in WCW. We take what we want, and after we take Lex Luger and the Giant, we want the gold sucker. Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, nigga.
And the best, if you watch, he puts his hands up like, "Oh, I just fucked up."
He just puts his head in his hand.
Yeah. Look at Sherry's face too.
Yeah. And Sherry's like, she pats him on the back. She's like, "It's all right." I was getting. But listen.
Can you imagine if that happened now? Oh hell.
Oh my God. Well, at least he's black and said it. It wasn't like
but still.
When Vince McMahon just walked up to Booker and said it. I was like, oh, that's a little rough. That would never. That was 2005 or 2006, I think, or maybe 2007, somewhere in there. That wouldn't fly in 2000.
You know what though? It just shows you. Take out the fact that he used the word, right?
It was a great promo.
It was a phenomenal promo, and what made that so good is that it was real. Like Booker got so into the realism of that promo that he used that word as if it was him, just doing it like for real.
Picking a fight with somebody in
right.
real life.
So right. So it showed the heart of it. It showed the realism, and it was just Booker T has always been great. And listen, Booker T was never the best in the ring. He was always very good in the ring. He was never the best, but he was great at character development. He was great at constantly changing his character and being entertaining and phenomenal on the microphone. And that's the biggest thing. You have to be as good on the mic as you are in the ring to be that perfect wrestler, that potential champion, that potential face of the company. And Booker T had it all. Because where he lacked in the ring, on a technical side, he made up for on the microphone. I mean, whether he was King Booker or he was Booker T, or when he was in TNA, he was I don't even know what the hell he was. He was like Jamaican Rasta, but he did that. Like everything he did was just great. And if he wanted to make you laugh, I mean, there were times where I laughed out loud with him. I mean, it was just great. Charmel got annoying when he was King Booker. But again, she was supposed to be annoying. She did her job. But other than that, man, it's a great choice. I'm happy for both of them. And especially Stevie Ray, because people sneeze on Stevie, and he deserves to be there, because without Stevie, there is no Harlem Heat. And quite frankly, if there was no Stevie Ray, we probably wouldn't have gotten the Booker T that we got.
Right.
Later on, because he was and I hate to go to this, but it really is true. Stevie Ray was the Jannetty.
It ended up that way.
Right.
But what we would have got was G.I. Bro. Remember, when WCW had him be G.I. Bro, that was a throwback to his like indie gimmick, was G.I. Bro. So obviously that wasn't ready for prime.
You just taught me something new, my friend, because I did not know that.
He did G.I. Bro years before they developed the Harlem Heat thing, and then it was never on TV.
But I didn't know from when.
Yeah, it was like his early days. He was G.I. Bro. He wasn't. He didn't. I don't think he ever did it on TV. Like when he came in, it was Harlem Heat with him and Stevie. So yeah, that was something that didn't work. And pairing him with Steve, it was a good fit. They were brothers. They were comfortable with each other. They had good chemistry. And like you said, until he said that at the end of that promo, that was a really good promo. And he got people excited. And he
got people talking, because once he said what he said, I mean, that went viral. I mean, it didn't go viral. Let's put it, if it was now, that would have been viral within 10 minutes.
Oh, for sure.
Back then there was no viral, there was no internet, but
but it's that aside, if you look at their career, multiple time tag team champions, they were right in the middle of the Monday Night Wars is when they broke out.
Yeah.
So, and a little bit before, right before Hogan came in, there were a couple years, I think maybe 93, 94, somewhere around there, when they first came in and, really started getting, I think they originally came in with Robert Parker.
They did come in with Parker.
So then they,
which was a very odd pairing. Because the Texan, it
was like a slave gimmick, kind of like that was the weird thing. It was almost like they were, they came out in chains for a couple times. They're like, we got to stop doing that.
But you know what though? Back then we weren't so fucking PC, and we weren't we weren't so edgy, and to the point where every little thing bothers us. I mean, you got people now thinking that Seinfeld was
Friends,
right? Yeah, it's like, come on, like get over yourselves. You know what I mean? Like
Goonies.
I mean, listen, two of the best TV shows for me growing up. All in the Family.
I was just going to say All in the Family.
And the Jeffersons. You know what I mean? They broke barriers. No, of course not. But there was nothing better than Archie Bunker. And it, it's like, I just think about, man, that would never, ever get approved now. Ever.
No. And the thing that was good about that show was that it went across political lines. You had conservative, Archie was very conservative and he got made fun of a lot. But then you had Meathead, who was very, very liberal. He's like almost a modern liberal now. I mean, he is. I mean, look at him today. But I mean, the character was super liberal. And he got made fun of, and it was like the black people crack jokes on the white people crack jokes on the black people. Sammy Davis Jr. came in and kissed Archie Bunker on a show one time.
Oh my God, that's right. I remember that.
It was such a diverse show. And then they had the great thing about Archie Bunker is it was Archie Bunker spun off the Jeffersons and Good Times and Maude.
Right. Maude. Oh my God.
And they had Maude on the show. She was great. And she was another one that was just, completely opposite from Archie politically, but it played really well. And it was a different time. And even then it was controversial, but just to think now that we've gone, I feel like we've gone backwards. That would be so controversial now.
Well, and you know what, Vince, unfortunately, the sad part is we have gone backwards. And this ties in, listen, we're not a political show and we're not,
it's all going to come around. Wait for it.
This is all a wrestling show. This is not about Maude and All in the Family, but this does bring to something that's very important that we need to talk to before we really dive into Fastlane and Raw and SmackDown Live. There's a lot of speculation going on social media right now that Fox is telling WWE that they want a more edgier product when they move to Fox. Now, to me, that says no more PG if you're going to go edgier. And people are getting very excited about the idea, oh my God, we're going to have the Attitude Era back and this and that. I want to be clear about something. And again, this ties into what we are talking about previously. If they do what Fox asks and they go the route of no more PG and they make an edgier show, we are never going to have the Attitude Era that we remember again. No. You're not going to have guys like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, a new Triple H and Shawn Michaels climbing to the top rope and getting women to flash. You're not going to get that edgy. You're going to get edgier content, and you're going to get stuff that's going to come right. You're not going to have – it's going to be a different Attitude Era because now everyone's so fucking PC and everyone is, oh my God, my feelings got hurt.
Well, all they had to do, listen, look at how sensitive people are. All Ronda had to do was say wrestling is fake, and the whole internet got mad at her like it was some big fucking secret.
Or Aleister Black today making fun of somebody's implants.
Oh, well, yeah, because they said he had shitty tattoos or something like that. And then he's like, well, look at you. You enhanced yourself. I enhanced myself. And they're like, somebody pointed out, they're like, oh, you're body shaming. He's like, oh, not really body shaming. I chose this path for me, my tattoos. She chose her path with the enhancements that she made. So I don't see the difference. If she's going to criticize me for this, I can criticize her for her choice.
It's like, I just want to take these people and I want to put them in a room and I want them to have to watch BBC or just that's the only channel they have access to so that they can't critique and they can't talk shit and they can't be offended. If you're offended, don't watch. But don't ruin it for everybody else. You know what I mean?
Sarah from Nebraska.
Right, exactly. But again, I want to be clear, get excited if it's going to be edgier because that's something that we want. But for those of us that were a part of the original Attitude Era, those days are gone. We're never going to have that kind of Attitude Era. And I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm excited for it to see what they do, but they're going to have to be very careful about what they're putting out. And everything that they put together is going to have to get approved by Fox.
Oh, for sure.
So, it's going to be a different ball game now. I just hope Fox doesn't fuck it up. And I say that because they're going to have a lot of restrictions on what WWE can and cannot do.
My concern, and I guess maybe this is kind of an old stereotype of the Fox network. I don't know. I really haven't kept up with the main Fox channel in a while in their programming, but it used to be that Fox had a reputation of too quickly pulling the trigger on a show that wasn't doing well ratings-wise.
Yeah. Oh, they're notorious for that.
You heard the stories about Family Guy and how many times it got canceled, and then fans demanded that they bring it back.
Futurama.
Right. Yeah. So you hope that with the WWE, they give them a little bit more of a leash, and they don't go, oh, well, this rating isn't hitting where we want it to. We're just going to cut bait, and then SmackDown is SOL.
They are notorious for that.
Right. And so you hope that's not the situation, but you have to keep that in mind that it is the Fox network. So the interesting thing is, though, with the way the world is now, in order to be edgier, they don't even have to try that hard. They could have somebody come out and say, like, they could have one of the guy wrestlers come out and say, Nia, you look fat in that outfit. And everybody go, oh, he's body shaming Nia Jax.
But that's the thing. I don't even think they would go that far.
But you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's such little things get heat or outrage or hashtag stand with whoever the fuck.
Yeah. I mean, now instead of calling somebody fat, it's going to be, you're getting a little pleasantly plum, you know, or some bullshit. You know what I mean? And like, I get it.
Would give you the outrage.
Yeah. It's like people are just so offended so easily now. It's just amazing to me. I remember one time, and this is a quick sidebar. I remember I went. Anyone know the name? I know Vince will because of Howard Stern, but Lisa Lampanelli. She's known as the Queen of Mean. And I was lucky enough to be able to go see her live with a buddy of mine at the MGM Grand at Foxwoods. And this was a long, I mean, we're talking over 10 years ago. And I was not only lucky enough to go see her, but I was 4 rows from the front. And you can imagine she sold out. There was not an empty seat. And I'm looking around, and there is every race, every ethnicity, everybody you could possibly think of in this one room. And I'm telling you, she came out and within the first 5 minutes offended every single solitary person in that crowd. Their race, their religion, the way they look, everything. There was no holds barred and nobody left. Everybody clapped. Everybody waited for an autograph and picture afterwards. And she was fucking hilarious. And she couldn't do her show now.
Yeah, no, she's actually,
she's retiring.
I heard she's changed. She even before she retired, she like changed her act a lot. Yeah, she had to really cut it back. And I mean, I remember, for those of you, I don't know if it's on YouTube anymore. It keeps getting taken down because they want you to subscribe to Sirius. But if you look up any of the Howard Stern show roasts, they roasted Gary, Baba Booey. They roasted Artie Lang.
So good.
They did a few of them, and Ronnie. They were just, Ronnie the limo driver got roasted. Ralph. Stupid Ralph. But everybody, you know, they
did roasted Sal too.
Yeah, they roasted Sal, and I think I think the Sal one was fairly recently, and then they did one for Andy Dick, and that was a fucking mess.
Yeah,
because Andy Dick came in all up, you know, just blown out. But Lisa was, because she was the Queen of Mean, she was on there. Jeff Ross was on there. Who's the guy that passed away? Greg Giraldo was, and they were all. Yeah. That kind of humor. It was mean stuff, and it was cutting, and it might have been about your ethnicity or your religion or your, you know, you're fat or you're skinny or you got a big fucking head, you know, whatever it was. It wasn't because they hated people who were of a different ethnicity or religion, or they hated people who had big fucking heads. It was that this is this was you look like this, and I'm going to exaggerate it to make a joke. Like it wasn't intended to be like an I hate all these people because I made fun of one person thing. And that's kind of where comedy and wrestling and entertainment and all that is kind of like, now if you insult somebody, like in a wrestling promo even, you could insult somebody, say the wrong thing. Dave Meltzer could put his foot in his mouth, and then the whole internet will fucking jump on him. You know, it's just like, it's so minor what you can do now to offend somebody, that if they're looking for an edgier product, they're just going to turn the temperature up just a few degrees. They just have to do just a little bit, and they're starting. I think they're starting because Ronda went out there.
Yeah,
first of all, can I just tell you, she finished with, you have to pay $60 to see me put an arm bar on the girl.
Yeah, I think she forgot about the network.
But that's great. It's such a good line. Like, no, you got to pay to see my, you know. So we're getting there. Her
heel promo work is great. I think the only critique I could give, and who am I? It's just my opinion. She just needs to slow down a little.
Oh, definitely.
I think it's so scripted that she's just spewing it out as quick as possible so she doesn't forget anything.
She's got some kind of speech impediment. I read online from like a tweet or an Instagram thing. She has a speech impediment where it's literally a thing where she has to get all of her words out as fast as possible in certain situations. Like her
that's
brain
interesting.
Just processes and comes. So yes, it's a thing she has to overcome. But on the other hand, if we told Ric Flair that, or Dusty Rhodes, you know, if we told Ric Flair that he had a lisp, we said, Dusty Rhodes, you have a lisp, you know, you'll never get far, go to speech therapy, or, you know, Hulk Hogan, stop using the word brother.
Nowadays, if you actually wrote down what Dusty Rhodes said, or like you make no sense at all.
Yeah, or like Ultimate Warrior, you're not making sense. Ultimate Warrior, you know, imagine a script in 2019.
Yeah,
the Ultimate Warrior is alive somehow. Thank God. It's a miracle. Ultimate Warrior is alive, and they bring him out to Raw. They give him a scripted promo to read. How well do you think that goes? It doesn't go well. Yeah, it goes terribly. So there's something to be. She's unique, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, but you know, if it's affecting the promos, then yes, it's a bad thing. She needs to slow down more. But at the same time, it sets her apart from, I'm going to say it really slow and enunciate every word. And then I'm going to turn so this camera can see me. You know what I mean? Like some of it's a little too, some guys in the cut promos are a little too deliberate. So it's different. If it works, it works. If it's something she has to fix, they're going to fix it.
What are you saying?
Listen, it's like everybody after Triple H got over and big in the company and moved up in corporate was like, I guess we all got to cut promos like Triple H now. Because it's like, even like, what's his name? I was going to call him Tommy End, Aleister Black. He's cutting I like his promos.
He needs to not talk.
He needs to not. If he needs to talk, it needs to be what he wants to say.
Yeah.
It can't, like, you can just tell. Like him and Ricochet.
I think he just needs to not talk. And
I also agree with that.
It's not because he's not a good talker. It's just the voice just doesn't line up with his character at all.
Very true.
Remember Nails? Remember when Nails would talk and it was like pitched down and all? They didn't do that with him. But no, I agree. I think the character would benefit from not speaking. It would be, I think, the suggestion we made last week about the Sinister Minister.
Would be absolutely perfect.
It would be, because unfortunately Paul Bearer is no longer with us. There's nobody really doing a spooky manager gimmick anymore. That used to be a thing, the spooky manager. You had your Jim Mitchells and you
don't really see many managers anymore.
No, it's a lost
art. Very far few in between, and that's a shame because you're right, it is a lost art. I mean,
it added, when you had, I was just watching, I was at work, so I didn't have the sound on. So, but I work 12-hour shifts, so I need something to play so I don't blow my fucking brains out during a 12-hour shift in the same room. So I had Survivor Series 1989 on, and Jimmy Hart came out, and you're drawn to this little man's energy. He's small. He's wearing this loud outfit. He's got a megaphone. He's yelling. He's pumping his fists and running around the ring and interfering in things. And he whatever act he was with, he enhanced them. I mean, look at what the Hart Foundation did before they had Jimmy Hart, and then as they had him, and then afterward, what Bret Hart turned into. And I'm not saying it's all Jimmy Hart, but it added to it. When Bobby Heenan took in somebody and added them to the Heenan family.
Oh, it was huge.
They were fucking over. And look at the Heenan family. It was like Andre and
Bundy.
Bundy. It was all stars. Rude. When Rick, perfect. When Rick Rude did that fucking pose off with the Ultimate Warrior, that was all Bobby Heenan.
Yeah.
On the microphone.
And then it was great because he was the weasel, and it's like you always waited for that moment where somebody was going to punch him or take him out, and then when it happened, or the managers get to be in goofy situations like riding a camelback, or it's like
being in a weasel suit.
Yeah, being put in a weasel suit. And all. The great thing about it was, think about feuds nowadays, and we talk about how, like the WWE, the speculation is they did this whole thing with Charlotte and Becky and Ronda because they didn't think they had enough material to take, just Becky and Ronda, as a solo act and stretch it out from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. Even though that's what you're paid to fucking do every year. It's called the Road to WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania. If you don't have enough shit to put in there, I don't know. That's a you problem, man. But they didn't think they had enough to do. If there's a manager involved, like in the past, you don't have to have the people do a one-on-one
kind
match.
of like Seth Rollins and
right.
Heyman.
Heyman can come out and get the heat. And I'm not saying that the other person no shows, but it's a situation where if there is an in-ring segment, and let's say Ronda had Paul Heyman as her manager, and Becky was out there, and it was Becky versus Ronda. Heyman comes out and he gets the heat and cuts the promo. Ronda gets the, blindsides Becky, gets the upper hand, whatever. Becky makes a little bit of a comeback and Ronda rolls out of the ring. But Paul Heyman is old and fat and slow. So Becky grabs him by the collar and pulls him into the ring. And she's got the arm bar on Paul Heyman and he's selling it. And Becky's outside of the ring and security's trying to break him up. And you didn't have the two of them touch. They didn't touch.
Yeah.
But it was a segment that got heat. You could do, and you didn't have to put them in matches. The fucking manager could come out and interfere in a match that their client's not even in. Like, there's a lot of things you can do with that extra wheel in the situation. So, selfishly, as somebody who always wanted to be Bobby Heenan and be a wrestling manager, selfishly, I want that to become a thing again.
Yeah.
But
I wanted that to be a thing for a while.
Right. But as an entertainment thing, as a viewer, I also think it would be something that should be more on television. It's underutilized, and they only have one Paul Heyman. So what the fuck? Get more of those. I know there
will never be.
I know, but get some guys in there, bring them into developmental.
Get another flavor of a Heyman, even.
Yeah, and it does. I'm not saying it has to be
Heyman.
Yeah. Like they grabbed Stokely Hathaway. He's one of the new signings. By the way, congratulations to our new signings. Robbie E. Robert Strauss.
What about Abyss being
friend of Nate, and he's been a big supporter and a friend.
Yeah, Robbie's a great guy.
I couldn't be happier for him. I mean, it's really huge.
It's so weird to think of all these guys like Ryan mentioned Abyss being hired as a backstage guy. He was a TNA guy, a career TNA guy. He never had a WWE match ever.
He had offers too, and he stayed with TNA.
He was going to wrestle The Undertaker at WrestleMania. How the fuck do you turn that down?
With the streak.
Yeah, what the fuck? Like, listen, he was a loyal guy, loyal to the end. He got out, he retired. They gave him a nice little send-off. He just wrestled his final match on the Indies a couple nights ago, and there was a nice little send-off there for him, which was good. But it's just, it's great that these TNA guys are finally, although it took however many years, are finally getting a look. Your Samoa Joes and your AJs and Abyss, even though, I know he's a producer, but it's still, he's getting hired by him. Robbie.
Hey, listen, he's there. That, doesn't
pay it for the show, man. However you make it,
it doesn't say that, one day he may not get an opportunity to throw that mask on and jump in the ring.
God, you don't know. He's not an old guy. He's still got some spunk in him. I think he's probably got a couple in him if they wanted to put somebody over big in NXT, have him come out and just lay waste to a bunch of people, and then somebody has a big, you build up to a takeover and do his old, you can't call it Full Metal Mayhem or whatever the TNA name was, but you could do a Falls Count Anywhere, no holds barred, street fight, whatever kind of match, and that was his specialty. And have somebody get really, he puts them over, and it's a big deal, and could be cool.
Yeah, great.
And I think NXT would be the spot to do it because.
Or main roster, look at the Outlaws a while back.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Like the New Age Outlaws on the main roster. You come in, put somebody, work a little program, work a couple pay-per-views, put somebody over. It could be good. I'm happy for everybody involved. And I think Clint Bloom, was that his name? It was one of the sons of the Beverly brothers got signed as well. So
and there was a picture of a big guy. There was three of them. Robbie E. A guy that looked Indian on the far left.
Stokely Hathaway, he's an African-American gentleman. Stokely Hathaway.
My apologies. And then the middle guy looked a lot like Big John Studd to me. Is that Studd's son?
It's one of the Beverly brothers' sons.
Oh, that's the Beverly brothers' son.
Yeah, I think he's the Beverly brothers' son.
He looks just like Big John Studd.
He's a big boy.
I took a look at him and I was like, oh my God, I wonder if it's him. It looked just like.
I wonder. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna see if I think it is one of the Beverly brothers' sons. That's what I heard, but.
I could be totally wrong. I didn't see a name. I just looked at the picture and I said, "Oh my God, it looks like Big John Studd."
But he's a big dude. Like he's huge, and that's what they look for that. But I'm glad they. I think his name is Clint Bloom. I'll keep googling it anyway. I think Ryan's usually better at finding this stuff for me anyway.
I'm working on it.
Oh, look at this. He's already on it.
You had to know.
Cal Bloom, not Clint Bloom. Oh my God, he is fucking huge. He's Now, Stokely Hathaway's kind of a little shorter guy, but Robbie is like a 6 foot something guy. Like he's over 6 feet.
Oh, he's taller than me for sure.
And this guy's a full head bigger than Robbie. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Oh, so renowned manager Stokely Hathaway. They're actually he wrestles, he manages. They're actually listing him as a manager, which is
there you go.
Great.
Maybe the Street Profits get Stokely Hathaway. He was big on like Evolve and the Indies and all that. So okay, so yes, Cal Bloom, 6'5", 255 pounds, son of former WWE superstar Wayne Bloom, who wrestled as Bo Beverly. Bo and Blake, the Beverly brothers. And those are another guys. They were not brothers.
Oh, that's funny.
They were a tag team. But yeah, good signings. I think you got experience, a combination of experienced guys and younger guys.
Robbie E shouldn't take too long to start wrestling on NXT because I mean he's been wrestling for
Yeah, I feel like he's got to show up pretty soon. And I feel like he's almost going to be in like that the Cassius Ohno role where
the gatekeeper,
right? Like a gatekeeper kind of thing, where he's the veteran and he's experienced, and then he's helping guys get over.
I wonder if Robbie's going to still do the whole bro gimmick. I'm curious to see what WWE does with him.
Yeah,
because the bro gimmick's kind of played out now. No,
he can't do the Jersey Shore thing anymore for sure. That's done. And then even doing like the fist pump, that's done. Bro is Matt Riddle's thing now.
Yeah,
so
they could feud over the bro.
They can feud over bro. That's right. They can feud over the contract to being able to use the word bro, like when Booker T lost the letter T to Ahmed Johnson.
That's right. That's pretty funny.
It all comes back around to Harlem Heat. There we go. We're hitting all the buttons today. What should we go for questions? I think honestly,
so we haven't really even talked about Fastlane.
This is true. Hold on. There was a pay-per-view this weekend, and there was a Raw last night. Holy moly! And it was a
there was a lot of people shitting on the pay-per-view. I didn't think it was so bad. Actually.
No,
I think it was unnecessary, but I didn't think it was a bad pay-per-view.
That's the thing. It was a B show, and I thought it was pretty good. Now
it was a good little B show.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Nothing I would say of significance happened aside from
that Kofi thing was great.
The Kofi thing was great. That furthered the storyline, and then the Ronda Becky Charlotte thing furthered the storyline. Everything else was just kind of house show standard stuff. Not that it was bad. It was just you're not making major changes 4 weeks before WrestleMania. So everything kind of stayed the same. Was there a title change? There was like one title change, maybe. I don't even remember. I don't think.
I don't remember now. Was there a title change? No, I don't think so.
Oscar retained. The Revival retained. Daniel Bryan retained.
The Shane McMahon heel turn was great.
That was like I said, was one of the first shocking things since Dean Ambrose turned the night Roman announced he had cancer.
Yeah.
Because I was watching it. I was working 12-hour shifts this weekend. It stunk. So I was in the shower and I had my phone up and I had the sound. So I was watching it while taking a shower. Don't judge me. I wasn't sitting there for 3 hours, but during the Miz period, the match ended. They were doing the hand raising thing with his dad. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. I'm even talking to myself out loud. I'm like, he's going to blast him right here. And I was waiting for the Miz to turn around and give him the old forearm. And it was fucking Shane. And I go, oh shit. There's nobody else around. I'm in my shower. There's 2 cats in the bedroom somewhere. I just go, oh, shit. I had no clue that was coming. And I actually enjoyed it because you expected Miz.
Yeah.
You just expected Miz to turn. And now it's so weird for Miz to be a babyface, but we're going to see how it works out.
It's working better than first time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What did he say? Ooh-ah? Hoo-ah? He can't even do that.
I'm talking with Flair.
When Flair gave him the figure 4.
Yeah.
When they announced there was speculation for weeks that Flair was going to give the figure 4 to Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
And then he gave it to the Miz. Come on. That could have saved Dolph Ziggler. Nothing would have saved Dolph Ziggler. I'm sorry. No. But maybe the figure 4 thing would have kept it alive a little bit longer. I don't know.
It would have helped.
He would come to the ring with a fucking robe that looked like a jean jacket or something. I don't know. Kickstart his heart. Fastlane was pretty good. You had the obvious finish of the triple power bomb Shield celebrate and go out on top thing, which is fine. And, you don't need to be surprised on every match. They can just
if it's logical, it can be predictable.
Yeah. The Kofi stuff, though, that was very interesting. We're going to see a follow-up to that in half an hour, a little less, because the McMahons requested Kofi's presence in their office before the pay-per-view. When they get in there, Xavier and Big E speak on Kofi's behalf, demanding that there be a triple threat match made for the WWE Championship. Well, it's going to be a triple threat match. Go out and let's go. And it was a big fucking swerve, kind of, because it ended up being a triple threat match. We'll get into that. Big fucking swerve because Kofi comes out. It ends up being a handicap match against the Bar. Him and the New Day get destroyed by the Bar. And then later, it is announced as a triple threat match. Only Mustafa Ali has taken the third spot to make
which
up.
Is ironic.
Which is, it makes up for him not being in the Elimination Chamber due to injury. But also, I feel bad for him because, like, everybody wanted Kofi. And I understand that was the reaction they were going for. But they could have put another heel in there. They could have put somebody out there who wasn't like a fresh babyface that they're trying to build up. It would have been
good if they put Rowan in there. Stack the deck and stick it to Kofi.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing was just, it was kind of weird because the fans wanted to be into the match and, like, everybody was working really hard, but at the same time, they really just wanted Kofi in the match. So while they appreciated that the guys were working hard, it was like, I wanted to see Kofi. Like, it was good. It was like,
the 2014 Rumble with Rey Mysterio getting booed at number 30.
Right. They had nothing to do with, it wasn't Rey's fault. This is like the reaction on Sunday night during that match was, if you go to McDonald's drive-thru and you order a Big Mac and you open it up and it's a McChicken, but you already drove away from the window and you're on your way home, so you're just going to eat the McChicken. It's good. It's fine. It's just not what you ordered. So that was what they did during the triple threat match. They're like, this is fine. It's not really what I paid money to come here and see. Like, I bought the ticket because Kofi was going to be in the championship match, and that was kind of that was the sense that I got from the crowd during that segment. Not that it was bad. It was good. It was a solid match. But it just wasn't what they wanted. And only spells what I hope means, this spells out a championship victory for Kofi Kingston in 26 days or 25 days or whatever it is at WrestleMania.
Yeah. I appreciated the big Kofi chant at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, that was great. We want Kofi the whole way through. It was great.
Good on Cleveland. Actually.
I still firmly believe Kofi's taking it at Mania.
Yeah, I think so. He's got to. He's got to. Yeah, I mean, I just if it ends with him not winning, that's such.
Can you imagine the Heat though?
Well, yeah, but I know what's going to happen. It's called WrestleMania 19, Triple H versus Booker T. Like this is like it's somehow a rehash of that and WrestleMania 30 at the same time. The two championship
matches.
Combination
story.
A little combination of like corporate authority versus underdog, but also the racial thing
with racial undertones.
Just a little bit, but it's I can't say I hate it. It's just like at this point you just want Kofi to win. It's like, come on, guys, I know we got to get there. We got to make it another 3 or 4 weeks, but give the guy the fucking title already. Come on. Let's get there. You gave it to Bray Wyatt. The great Khali was a world champion. What the fuck? Kofi can't be champion? Let's do this thing. Fastlane was, I thought it was solid. Did any of you tune in to there was a watch along on the YouTube channel. So Pat McAfee, former Indianapolis Colts kicker, Heartland radio guy. Pat McAfee was doing it with the Iconics, and Sam Roberts came in and everybody made fun of him. And Christian was there. Devon was there. They had people rolling in and out through the whole Alexa Bliss came in. So they had everybody in there and they were watching. They had the matchup on a big like movie projector. And then they were all sitting in seats watching it and did like a discussion. So they would talk about the match, but then they'd also kind of answer questions about their own careers. And it was interesting. And
I wish they did.
it's I guess there was some inappropriate content, like non-PG stuff. It's a 3.5 hour live stream. I'm sure something inappropriate is going to slip in there. It's just, it's bound to happen. So WWE took it off their channel, but somebody archived it, and there was a copy up on YouTube that I was watching earlier. And it was very cool. It was fun. It's a different kind of thing. Now that I know what it is, I might give it a shot going forward on some pay-per-views, but it's something different. And now you can go back, and it's not like it's lost in time. You could go back and watch that, and it's almost like watching the pay-per-view over again, but like your friends are in the room watching pay-per-view with you. I know that's really sad to say, like you're alone listening with your online friends, but it's like, it's almost like there's people talking about the pay-per-view while you discuss it. So I think that was a cool little addition.
It's a great new way of watching it.
Yeah, it's like a second, another screen experience.
Second experience.
I think you pretty much got to mute the commentary. Not that you're missing anything, but I think you got to mute the commentary to listen to the
that helps.
People. I can see that getting confusing. Should we answer some fan questions? Amanda said her stomach hurts. Kat, I know, may or may not come. She had her one of her kids split their lip the other day and had to go get stitched up. But they'll be back. They did give us the questions. I got the questions here. That's why it took me a little while. Ask the War Report. We got Champion Mizter, M-Y-Z-T-E-R. Very cool. What are your thoughts on Dean Ambrose not renewing his WWE contract?
I think it's a work. I think he's staying.
Very, very could be.
When have you ever heard
they're talking about it too much?
Them talk about it as much. Like, they never do this. So to me, it seems like a work. Listen, I don't really know, but
this is their opportunity to do the CM Punk on leaving thing over again and do it the right way.
Yeah.
Have Dean leave. I'm going to go wander the desert and find myself like Kane from Kung Fu or some shit. I don't know. Have him,
Shawn Michaels had to go find his smile.
Right. But
pop up different indie places.
Have him show up at fucking go to Japan, go to Indies, show up on Ring of Honor, whatever the fuck.
To AEW.
I was thinking that. I don't know if they'd let him do that, but it would be interesting if, he got a little time in AEW and
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think he would do AEW, but it would be. I don't think he's going anywhere either. But it would be interesting if they built that in, like he's leaving, and he left, but he didn't really leave. He's working this angle where he's going working the Indies and then coming back somehow. Like imagine he works some indie show, and you're there, and Dean Ambrose is wrestling in the main event, and then he wins, and all of a sudden, fucking Seth Rollins comes out. And the crowd loses their minds. And Seth Rollins, and everybody's got their phones out and they're all recording it and it's Instagram Live and all this shit. And he comes out and he's trying to talk Dean back to coming back. And they're like, do you want Dean Ambrose back in the WWE? We're going to burn it down. And everybody loses their minds. Fuck. I think that would be a cool little gimmick. But I don't know. It just seems so weird that they're talking about it this much.
Yeah, so, well, that's why to me, I can't see that. It's either that or the word got out and they knew there was no way around it, so they just said fuck it and we're gonna, I will say this. I will say this: since it got out there that he's leaving, he hasn't won a match.
Yeah, this is.
His match with McIntyre was awesome last night, but he lost again as usual.
Oh yeah, they did the Batman, the Dark Knight pencil thing.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Renee Young almost went berserk.
I heard they were thinking of taking her off commentary. I don't know.
I heard that too. I hope not.
She's okay. She's just, when they have her talk about Dean and he's a bad guy, it's fucking weird. Because then
it is weird.
Corey's like, "Aren't you married to him? Don't you talk at dinner?" It's like, oh, fuck, leave me alone. I don't know what to say. Like either give her something to say, or don't have Corey bring it up so much.
Yeah,
right.
Like those are the two things.
Maybe mention it, but don't like hammer it in there.
Right, exactly. Let's see here from Amanda's Instagram. David James 4 sends a video link. I'll save you the trouble because the question basically tells you what the video is. And we've all seen either, if not
Joey
this video,
Ryan
variation. How does this guy in the video flip another guy using just his penis? Joey Ryan. I'll let Ronda Rousey handle that one.
Yeah.
In the same vein.
I'll tell you how, because a guy like him is, in my opinion, ruining the business. And the idea is that he has the most powerful penis in the world, that he can just take somebody and flip them with his cock. And usually guys like that tend to have the smallest dicks. So take that for what it is. That's just my opinion. I am not a fan.
So actually, I'll finish that. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
What he does is he harnesses all of the hatred that Jim Cornette has for the dick flip and uses it almost like a Jedi and flips the guy. But it's all because Jim Cornette hates it so much that his hatred goes out into the universe and forms energy that can be channeled into wrestling moves. Little known fact about Jim Cornette. Unfortunately... Yeah,
a lot of hate.
It is because unfortunately one day we're going to lose Jim Cornette because he's going to see a wrestling spot so stupid that his heart's just going to give out and explode in his chest. And then when he is in the ground, the centrifugal force of his coffin spinning every time something bad happens is also going to feed energy into the world.
You know what I don't get, like in all seriousness, what I don't get, somebody like him, I mean, you got to imagine that you're in this business, your goal is to get to WWE. At the end of the day, that's where you want to end up.
Yeah.
I don't understand what makes you think that doing this on the indies, because if you Google Joey Ryan, this is all you're going to see. What makes you think WWE is ever going to consider bringing you in? It's not going to happen. In my opinion, he's just screwing himself.
Yeah, but he was honestly, to put perspective, I think he's one of those guys like Colt Cabana who never ever expected to make it to WWE. Now, Colt Cabana made it. He didn't stay very long, but he made it. But he was one of those guys that seems like an indie lifer. Like he enjoys work in the indies. You know, he knows where his place is in the world of wrestling. And he's content with that, and he's doing well. But you knew from the beginning, not from the beginning, because I don't know what his gimmick was right at the beginning, but 10, 12 years ago, Joey Ryan was still the sleazy guy. Instead of a beard, he had a porn mustache. Now I saw on YouTube he shaved again. So every so often he does the porn mustache versus a 5 o'clock shadow or a beard. But he used to be, sleazy Joey Ryan. His finishing move was called the Duff Drop. It was named after Hillary Duff because the implication was that he was into underage girls. So like his whole indie gimmick for the last 10 or 12 years has just been
creepy,
like a sleazy, creepy guy. So, now he takes he takes a lollipop out from his trunks and, he rubs the lollipop on his dick and then he puts it in the person's mouth and then he super kicks them. And that's like his finish.
It's so stupid.
So yeah, that's where we are. So I just think he knows he knows at this point, he knows he's not going to the WWE unless he severely changes all that shit. So
even that, it would take a lot.
Yeah. I don't think it's in the cards. I think it sounds like he's going to AEW. The problem is especially with a lot of the indie guys was their contract with Lucha Underground. Don't permit them to go on any other TV programs, but Lucha Underground is on hiatus and they froze the contracts until they make a decision about whether or not it'll be canceled. All this happy horse shit. Basically, and some of them have got into a class action lawsuit to sue Lucha Underground to get out of their contract. So who fucking knows what's happening with all that? It's crazy.
There's talks that Lucha Underground's going out.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's talk of it, and they're just basically what's happening is they've signed these people to contracts and like the last time it took 18 months for them to film a new season, but they were under contracts. So they couldn't do anything about it. And at this point they're like, if it's going to go out, just they want answers. They're like, if we're going to work on TV, give us, let us do the fucking show or cut us loose and at least let me go get a tryout somewhere else.
Yeah. I mean, it's not fair to them.
It's definitely not. So that's a big issue. So that's how Joey Ryan flips people with his penis. Now, WWE Demon Diva, is the Shield done or nah? We didn't get no answers. LOL.
Shield is not done.
Yeah,
because Ambrose isn't leaving. The
Yeah.
whole thing is bullshit. It's like Cena. Cena Rock last time ever 3 times.
Right.
I mean,
it's there's too much money in it for it to be the last time.
Way too much.
Speaking of, real quickly, the speculation is Kurt Angle wrestles his retirement match against John Cena at WrestleMania. So I think that could be interesting.
It kind of goes full circle if you think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cena's
first match, and Angle got over. So now Angle will probably.
Angle and Cena also had like that really hot feud. When Angle had Daivari as his manager, and Angle said one day that he hated Boston and he hated Larry Bird and he hated Jesus Christ and all this stuff. Like, it was just he was trying to go for heat, and everything he said they just cheered more. But he was the fucking wrestling machine. He still is.
Book this?
Yeah. What happens?
What if go open challenge and have Cena challenge him?
That would be cool. Kurt Angle comes out and says my retirement match is an open challenge. Oof. But yeah, I think that would
come out to his old music, the Thug Life.
Oh, geez, Chain Gang stuff.
The only way that will work, him coming out Chain Gang and doing the whole thing, is if he gets a haircut. If he comes out with that fucking hair, that shit ain't gonna work.
He comes out with the Lance Catamaran hair, the fucking
the JBL haircut.
I have a feeling that the next time we see John Cena, that bald spot's going to be covered up by some implants. You don't just grow your hair out like that for no fucking reason. You're growing it out so they can take it and harvest it and implant it to other places. We get it. Like, there's no shame in your game, man. LeBron James did it when he was like 20 years old.
Shawn Michaels just did it.
Shawn Michaels. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. That was a huge shock.
Yeah. So there's too much money on the table to be left on the table by not using the Shield more. And I was listening to, I think it was Meltzer and Brian Alvarez, Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez. They said something about when the Shield gets back together, it's weird because these guys have all progressed and evolved in their career and gone beyond the Shield, and they're their own individual performers and individual gimmicks now. So it's weird to see them back together. But
has Reigns done any of that?
Yeah. Reigns has kind of stayed the same.
Not trying to be a dick.
No, but like he's pretty much stayed status quo, and the other two have changed their characters quite a bit throughout time. But I just think no matter what, because first of all, they are 3 individual guys that are over. Each of those guys individually could headline a pay-per-view or headline a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But when they're together, there's something about it. The crowd is into it. They've got this spark. And I'm not saying they should wrestle fucking Baron Corbin 8,000 times. They shouldn't. But if there was a way to get a faction, Sanity, the New Day, the Wyatt family, whoever the fuck you want, another group that's, a 3-man group that can challenge these guys, or a tag team that can take on 2 of them, but they've got a manager, so there's one on the outside. I don't know, something where the Shield can work as, in story, the agreement, the story would be, there's an agreement between these 3 guys. They might go their separate ways, but when it's time, the fucking Shield,
kind of like the Avengers.
Vests on. Right, yes.
You assemble the team, you bring them together.
Exactly, and that could be a thing where, Dean Ambrose is getting beat up by somebody. Like imagine if this Shield reunion didn't happen, and you have somebody like Drew McIntyre beating the shit out of Dean Ambrose, and he's got a couple buddies that beat him up too. And Dean Ambrose is stumbling. He stumbles backstage. They show him crawling up the ramp. He goes through the curtain. He walks by gorilla position. He goes into the locker room and just slams the door open. And you don't know who's in the locker room.
Yeah.
You just see Dean. He goes, we need to get the band back together. And then you fucking cut, and it's Roman and Seth, and they're taping their fists up, and they're like, let's fucking do this. And then the crowd loses their minds. Like, that's all you got to do. You don't have to have the Shield together 24/7. They aren't wearing one big T-shirt with 3 head holes cut out of it.
Right.
Like, they're individual people. Have them work their individual angles, and then,
come together.
Don't call it a reunion. Just always note that they're associated with the Shield.
Yeah.
They're part of the Shield, and when the Shield comes together, it's not that it's a reunion like a band getting back together. It's these guys doing what they do.
Kind of like if they need a mixed tag, you're not going and grabbing random face or random heel. You're going to go grab the other Shield member.
Yeah. So.
Any other ones?
Yeah, I think there were a couple more. Oh,
2 more.
Eric's taking selfies. Let's see here. We had. Well, I'll go to Mr. Shadman's. Which wrestling match are you really looking forward to watching? I assume he's meaning WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how well Batista wrestles after however many years off. I'm also interested.
Really going to wrestle though because it's
a street
DQ,
fight.
so they're just going to pound the shit out of each other. Use weapons and all, which I'm okay with.
Yeah,
but you're not going to see much wrestling.
I think the obvious choice is the women's triple threat. I want to see if they put it on as the main event now, and I want to see how all three of them perform when the lights shine the brightest. And I'm hoping for a great match. Like I don't want to be let down. Like
I don't think you will.
Remember AJ and Nakamura? Looking back, it wasn't a bad match. That was not. It was a very good match.
Killed it.
The end, it was so weird, and I hope to God they just fucking do everything right, despite the fact that they've fucked it up for the last 8 weeks or whatever. Let's just hope that they get it right down the home stretch.
The match I honestly at this point that I'm most excited for has got to be the Becky Lynch Ronda Rousey Charlotte match. I think that match could potentially steal the show. If they do it right, I think it's going to be really entertaining. The story's been great, and their social media work has been the driving force of this story, and it's just been fantastic.
Yeah, man. What do you think, Brian?
Kofi Kingston, and if he gets in the WWE title match.
I think we'll find out. It's almost 8:00. We'll find out in just a few minutes tonight on SmackDown. What
I would love to see New Day celebrating with the WWE title.
Do you think
potentially getting a Freebird WWE title?
Oh, do you think?
I don't know if we're going to go Freebird. I don't
think it, but I would love it.
I think Kofi's going to win the title, and I think that's going to be the beginning of the end of the New Day. Unfortunately,
do you know why I wanted? I mean, I'm always rooting for Daniel Bryan to lose. That's just me. But I wanted Kevin Owens to win, and this is going to be really like a selfish nerd thing. I wanted Kevin Owens to win because when I picture Kofi winning the WWE title at WrestleMania, I don't want it to be with that fucking cardboard belt.
Yeah.
I want Kofi to hold up the leather and stone and metal work. It was made by West Coast Choppers, for fuck's sake, or whoever made Orange County Choppers, whoever made it. I want him holding up the belt because he won it, and that's his belt. Like he's gonna be holding up Daniel's Pinterest belt. Like that was my only bugaboo. Was like, oh man, now he's gonna be holding up that, unless they have one there at ringside.
Or they save it for SmackDown and they unveil a new Day WWE.
And I would be, you know what? As long as he gets, you know what? I want Kofi to get his belt, whatever it is that they consider his belt. If it's a New Day one with pancakes and unicorns on it, fuck sure.
That would sell like hotcakes.
Well, they had the tag team ones. They never used them on TV. They just sell them in the store. And people.
Hey, by the way, breaking news.
Ooh.
WWE apparently signed a deal with Eminem to appear on SmackDown Live and more.
That'll be a
little interesting.
Oh wow, edgy.
Little edgy.
I like Eminem.
But I'm saying they want an edgier product. They're gonna fucking get it.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Do we have any more?
Let's see. One more from Kingsman 36. This guy asked a lot of questions. Hi, Kingsman 36. What is the chance Vince screws over Kofi tonight by removing his character from WWE 2K19? I like that one.
I like that. That would be a good, quick, like patch him out. Then
that would be so much heat. Take him out of the game.
Could you imagine that could go viral in minutes?
Oh yeah, because like the people who are really into that game. Oh my God. That would be huge.
The streamers would be like, "Where's Kofi Kingston?"
It would be all
or do something ridiculous when they do the New Day entrance.
That would be
a paper bag on him or something.
Yeah, censor him. Put a big blue dot like they wanted to put over Christian's face. Yeah. Oh my God,
it's just absurd.
Yeah,
that would be so fucking funny if Vince came out and said, "That's it. I'm removing you from next year's game." That would be absolutely hilarious.
No, I'm talking this game.
Yeah, just this year. Just decide, and like as of tonight, when you go play your
he's
WWE 2K disc,
that'd be funny.
like they just locked him out of the game. Like they do a software update and lock him out of the game.
That's
Oh
what I
my
was thinking. Patch it and just
That would be
lock
so
out.
funny.
Oh my god, that would just cause absolute chaos.
It would, and it would be all over. It would. We were talking about going viral.
You probably get news networks, the game.
Oh my
you get
god,
gaming networks,
the gaming channels. You're like, yeah, all the tech people on Twitch and YouTube. It would be nonstop discussion about it.
You could have up, down, down. Go, what the hell?
Oh my god, an up, down, down episode on that would be awesome.
Like have them play dumb and act like, oh, I'm gonna go play.
Yeah, like Xavier goes to pop the game in,
Yep.
and he's live on YouTube, and he's like, "What the hell is this?" And he cuts a
Exactly.
promo. Like, if they're looking for other ways to go, like a lot of these feuds take place over Twitter now. That's another avenue you can go. These live gaming streams, like Xavier does these live gaming streams, they could use them to further storylines. They don't really do that on Up, Down, Down, like furthering wrestling storylines, because a lot of this, it's there's no kayfabe. Everybody's friends. Guys who are babyface and heels. There's nothing like that on the show. So
but that would make a bigger impact.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. If they decide to do that, pick your spot, do it in an important thing where Xavier, you interrupt the regular programming of Xavier's show to do something unique like that. I think would be that's very interesting. And I know it was a jokey question, but fuck. I like it. Everybody who asks a question using hashtag AskTheWarReport or emailing AskTheWarReport@gmail.com will be entered into our pay-per-view pick'em contest for WrestleRumble.com. WrestleRumble.com is a paid pick'em contest where you can win great prizes, wrestling-related prizes for wrestling pick'ems. The winner of this month's question will get $5 entry, or a free entry rather, into their pay-per-view pick'em. Now it's only as little as $5 to enter if you want to, but if you want to get a free one, askthewarreport@gmail.com or hashtag AskTheWarReport. I forgot there was also a screenshot that Kat sent from Kaylee. Hello, Kaylee Natal. She likes our show. She watches a lot. She wants to be in a four-way with the Shield. It's not really a question, but a statement.
Yeah, that's more of a statement.
Seth Rollins is so damn hot. That was from her boyfriend. Kaylee. So not really questions, but comments.
Maybe they're trying to make it a fatal five-way.
There you go.
On that note, you can you can find your tag team match on tagmeadate.com. Tagmeadate.com is absolutely free to use, free to register, to post status updates, to send messages, and to search for your tag team match. With a roster of over 70,000 superstars and divas all throughout the world, you can search by location, you can search by favorite wrestler, favorite pay-per-view, and lots of other metrics. Like I said, it's absolutely free. Tagmeadate.com. And our iPhone and Android apps will be released Wrestlemania weekend. More on that as we get closer. We'll be at WrestleMania. We'll be there throughout the weekend. If you see us, I don't know how you'll tell us apart. We'll wear t-shirts or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we'll be there WrestleMania weekend. We'll be talking about our app. And also follow Tag Me a Date on social media at Tag Me a Date, Tag Me a Date. No spaces, no dashes, no dots. Just Tag Me a Date on social media, Instagram and Twitter. If you go to YouTube, you do the same thing. You type in Tag Me a Date in the search bar, Tag Me a Date, no spaces, just squish it all together, make one word. You see our Tag Me a Date channel where you can subscribe. If you're subscribing, hit the bell, because that's when you'll be alerted with a notification to your device when we upload a new video or when we go live. And we go live every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Eastern time. If you're listening now, congratulations. You figured out when daylight savings time was and you adjusted accordingly. As I said a few weeks ago, I don't know where you live.
Or you hit that fancy bell button and got notified that we
exactly. If you hit the bell, you can set your watch for whatever time you want, because then when we go live, it'll just pop up right on your phone. You can swipe the thing, you come to the video. So check us out again, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Adjust your clocks accordingly. And we'll be back around for another edition next Tuesday night, 7 p.m. For now, hope everybody enjoys SmackDown, and thank you for listening.